Today, we are diving deep into the situation surrounding Kyle Duggar and the New England Patriots, a storyline that has been capturing the attention of fans ever since he lost his starting spot at safety. Duggar, once considered a reliable piece in the secondary, has found himself practicing with the second-team squad, and the signals from training camp suggest that his role as a starter is far from guaranteed. Even on days when Dill Peppers was absent from practice, Duggar did not step into the first-team lineup, leaving questions about his future on the roster. The coaching staff has hinted at the possibility of a position change, exploring whether Duggar could transition to linebacker, a move that could potentially give him a fresh start and secure his place on the team. Mike Vrabel, when asked about this potential switch, emphasized the organization's willingness to consider any adjustment that would help both the player and the team. The focus remains on finding the right fit, maximizing talent, and ensuring that every player can contribute effectively within the Patriots' defensive scheme. For Duggar, it's not just about the physical transition, but also about mastering coverage concepts and understanding the nuances of a new role. Reports from training sessions indicate that even with opportunities available, he has yet to make a strong case for reclaiming his former position. Del Pettis has moved up to the third safety spot, joining Jalen Hawkins and Craig Woodson, while Duggar continues to hover on the edge of the rotation. The potential move to linebacker could be his last chance to demonstrate value, a final opportunity to earn a spot on a roster that is always evaluating talent and seeking optimal alignment for success. If Duggar cannot adapt quickly or show improvement, the Patriots may have to make the difficult decision to part ways with one of their longer-tenured players, a reality in the NFL where roster decisions are relentless and competition is fierce. Turning to the offensive side of the ball, the Patriots' offensive line has been under the microscope during the early days of practice, particularly in matchups against formidable opponents like the Minnesota Vikings. The line is young, with several key positions still in flux, and the team's ability to protect the quarterback and establish a run game will depend heavily on performance in training camp and preseason games. Brandon Scherff's recent retirement adds another layer of complexity, as the five-time Pro Bowl guard had been linked to the team in free agency and brought decades of experience and reliability to any offensive line. His decision to step away from the game leaves the Patriots with fewer veteran options and highlights the importance of developing the younger players currently on the roster. With Jared Wilson dealing with injury concerns and limited participation in practice, opportunities have arisen for players like Ben Brown, who has shown versatility as both a backup center and guard, and Cole Strange, who remains a talented but unproven presence within the first-team rotation. Observations from Day 2 of practice against the Vikings provided valuable insights into the strengths and weaknesses of both the offensive and defensive units. The offensive line struggled at times against elite pass rushers, particularly Jonathan Greener, whose performance against Will Campbell highlighted the challenges facing the Patriots' young linemen. These sessions demonstrated that the offensive line still has work to do in terms of cohesion, communication, and technique, especially in high-pressure situations like red zone drills where space is limited and every mistake is magnified. Meanwhile, the wide receiver core has been producing notable performances, with Kahan Booty standing out as a player pushing for increased playing time and challenging more established teammates for a roster spot. Effin Chisholm continues to provide a spark, consistently proving he belongs at the NFL level, and his energy and ability to make plays make it difficult for the Patriots to consider relegating him to the practice squad. At quarterback, the situation remains clear, with the team expected to carry only 2 players in that position, leaving Ben Wooldridge on the practice squad despite his strong performances during training. In the running back room, players like R'Andre Stevenson, Trayvon Henderson, and Antonio Gibson appear poised to take the primary roles, with the addition of a new fullback providing depth and flexibility. Jack Westover has emerged in that hybrid position, offering a mix of fullback and tight end capabilities that can be valuable in multiple formations. The wide receiver and tight end groups reflect a balance of established talent and rising potential. Diggs and Douglas remain the top options, with Holland and Booty battling for snaps alongside Kyle Williams, while Jalen Polk is expected to move to injured reserve, opening opportunities for players like Javen Baker, who has made an impression with touchdowns in practice. The offensive line configuration, despite its challenges, shows promise with the combination of Campbell, Wilson, Bradbury, and Wynyu and Moses, while Caden Wallace and Ben Brown provide depth and flexibility. Dantry Jacobs and Marcus Bryant offer additional tackle options, reinforcing the roster with a mix of experience and youthful potential. Defensively, the Patriots are carefully constructing their rotations and positioning players to maximize effectiveness. Edge positions are being solidified with Landry White and Jason Swinson, while interior defensive linemen like Williams, Barr, Tonga, Farmer, and Farms continue to develop cohesion and impact. Safety depth remains a focus, particularly as Duggar's potential position shift could influence the secondary rotation, with Peppers, Hawkins, Woodson, and Pettis forming the core of the unit. Special teams contributions remain crucial, with players like Brendan Schooler providing reliable performance in those specialized roles. The kicker, punter, and long snapper positions are solidified with Borrelise, Behringer, and Ashby, rounding out the critical final spots on the 53-man roster. Ultimately, the Patriots' roster decisions hinge on a combination of performance, adaptability, and strategic planning. Duggar and Cole Strange represent two of the most intriguing cases, where talent meets uncertainty, and the team must evaluate whether to retain potential or pursue more immediate contributors. The competition within the roster remains fierce, and every practice, every drill, and every preseason game contributes to the final picture of who will take the field in the regular season. With a mix of veteran experience, emerging talent, and versatile players capable of contributing in multiple roles, the Patriots are positioning themselves to field a competitive, well-rounded team. The early practices against strong competition, like the Vikings, have highlighted areas for improvement and reinforced the importance of depth across all positions. Offensive and defensive units alike must perform at a high level consistently, adapting to challenges, exploiting mismatches, and demonstrating resilience in the face of adversity. Players like Duggar, Booty, Chisholm, and Brown are seizing every opportunity to prove their worth, while veterans continue to anchor the roster with experience and leadership. The narrative surrounding Kyle Duggar encapsulates the pressures and realities of professional football, where even established players must continuously demonstrate value or risk being replaced. His potential move to linebacker reflects the adaptability required at the highest level, where positional flexibility can extend careers and enhance team performance. Meanwhile, the offensive line and skill positions face their own tests, navigating injuries, performance variability, and the emergence of new talent to secure their roles on the active roster. The Patriots' approach demonstrates a methodical evaluation process, emphasizing player development, tactical versatility, and readiness to adjust as the season unfolds, all while maintaining the goal of fielding a competitive team capable of contending in every game. From training camp to preseason matchups, every detail matters, and the Patriots are actively shaping their roster through observation, performance assessment, and strategic planning. The interplay between veterans and younger players, starters and backups, highlights the depth and complexity involved in assembling a roster prepared for the challenges of a full NFL season. Duggar's journey, whether as a safety or transitioning to linebacker, serves as a microcosm of the larger team-building process, where talent, opportunity, and adaptability converge to define who will ultimately make the 53-man roster and contribute to the team's success on the field. As training camp progresses, the Patriots are starting to reveal more about how they envision their starting lineup and the depth that will carry them through the grueling season ahead. One of the most critical areas of focus continues to be the defensive backfield, where Kyle Duggar's situation serves as a case study in adaptability and opportunity. While Duggar has yet to cement his role as a starter, the coaching staff has been deliberate in exploring different combinations, emphasizing versatility and situational performance. Players like Del Pettis and Jalen Hawkins have taken advantage of the extra reps, showing flashes of playmaking ability that could allow them to move up the depth chart. Craig Woodson remains a steady presence, combining physicality with a reliable understanding of defensive schemes, and his consistency helps stabilize a secondary that is otherwise in flux. Meanwhile, the linebacker core is undergoing careful scrutiny. The potential addition of Duggar to the linebacker group introduces a variable that could alter rotations and responsibilities. Vrabel and his coaching staff are weighing how Duggar's speed and coverage skills might complement existing players like Anthony Jennings and Josh Uche. Both Jennings and Uche have displayed the ability to disrupt opposing offenses, whether rushing the quarterback or covering tight ends and running backs in pass situations. The possibility of Duggar transitioning to linebacker is not only about filling a gap, but about enhancing the flexibility of the defensive front seven. If successful, Duggar could provide a unique matchup advantage against teams that rely heavily on versatile offensive personnel, creating opportunities for disguised coverages and hybrid packages that challenge even the most disciplined quarterbacks. On the offensive side, the evolution of the line is central to both passing and rushing efficiency. The early sessions highlighted that communication among linemen is as crucial as raw power or technique. Young players, despite possessing talent, sometimes struggle to adjust to the speed and complexity of NFL defenses. Will Campbell and Cole Strange have been thrust into high-pressure situations that test their ability to maintain focus, manage blitz pickups, and execute consistent blocking assignments. The coaching staff has emphasized technique over brute strength, stressing footwork, hand placement, and awareness of defensive stunts. These sessions are as much mental as they are physical, and players who demonstrate rapid assimilation of these concepts are positioning themselves favorably for roster retention. Skill positions, particularly wide receivers and running backs, are experiencing intense competition. Kahan Booty has emerged as a player who could challenge for significant playing time, showing precise route running, reliable hands, and an ability to gain separation even against veteran defenders. Effin Chisholm continues to impress with explosive plays and the capacity to make contested catches, demonstrating a level of agility and awareness that belies his relative inexperience. On the running back side, the rotation among Reandra Stevenson, Trayvon Henderson, and Antonio Gibson is being finely tuned. Each player brings a unique set of strengths. Stevenson with vision and balance, Henderson with burst and elusiveness, and Gibson with a combination of power and pass-catching ability out of the backfield. Coaches are experimenting with various formations to determine how to maximize these skill sets, including two-back sets and spread packages that challenge defenses horizontally and vertically. Tight end evaluation remains equally dynamic. Jack Westover is showing promise as a hybrid option, offering blocking proficiency in the run game while also serving as a reliable target in the passing attack. His versatility allows the Patriots to deploy multiple personnel groupings without sacrificing effectiveness, keeping defenses off balance. Veteran tight ends continue to provide leadership and reliability, but the infusion of youth ensures that the offense remains unpredictable and adaptable. Special teams, often an overlooked component of roster composition, is receiving meticulous attention. Players like Brendan Schooler are carving out roles that could prove decisive in game situations. Field position battles, coverage units, and return schemes require both athleticism and intelligence, and those who excel in this phase often secure roster spots that might not be available solely through offensive or defensive contributions. Kicking, punting, and snapping duties are solidified, yet the coaching staff remains vigilant for any weakness that could emerge, as reliability in these areas can be the difference between victory and defeat in close contests. The defensive line, meanwhile, is balancing rotational depth and situational specialization. Edge rushers Landry White and Jason Swinson have displayed the explosiveness needed to challenge opposing quarterbacks, while interior linemen such as Williams, Barr, Tonga, and Farmer are tasked with maintaining gap discipline, stopping the run, and collapsing the pocket from the middle. The coordination between defensive line stunts, linebacker reads, and secondary coverage is a focal point of practice, as misalignment or hesitation in any phase can be quickly exploited by savvy offenses. Vrabel's defensive philosophy emphasizes aggressive, disciplined play, and his coaching staff is carefully monitoring each player's ability to execute assignments while maintaining the flexibility to adjust to offensive tendencies. Player health and durability are recurring themes in the first weeks of camp. Injuries, even minor ones, influence depth charts and present opportunities for backups to showcase readiness. Jared Wilson's limited participation has opened doors for Ben Brown and others to prove their value, while Jalen Polk's movement to injured reserve shifts opportunities to those waiting on the edge. The Patriots are keenly aware that the grind of a full NFL season demands both physical conditioning and mental resilience. Players who can maintain consistency, demonstrate adaptability, and contribute in multiple phases of the game increase their chances of not only surviving roster cuts, but becoming key contributors. Beyond individual performance, team chemistry and leadership dynamics are shaping practice sessions. Veterans provide a stabilizing presence, mentoring younger players while modeling the professional habits necessary to succeed at the highest level. These lessons extend beyond the XS and OS, encompassing preparation, film study, and accountability. Younger players like Duggar, Booty, and Chisholm are absorbing these lessons, understanding that talent alone is insufficient without the discipline to translate ability into consistent performance on game day. Strategically, the Patriots are experimenting with personnel groupings, testing different combinations of skill positions, offensive line sets, and defensive rotations. The goal is to identify optimal alignments that can exploit opponent weaknesses while minimizing risk. For Duggar, this means demonstrating readiness to adapt to linebacker responsibilities, understanding gap assignments, and mastering coverage responsibilities against tight ends and running backs. For offensive players, it requires precise execution of blocking schemes, route timing, and situational awareness. Each practice, each drill, and each simulated game scenario contributes to a larger assessment, informing decisions that will ultimately shape the 53-man roster. In the defensive backfield, flexibility is paramount. The potential realignment of Duggar offers both challenge and opportunity. Challenge in terms of learning a new position and responsibilities, and opportunity in terms of creating a unique skill set that adds value to the team. Meanwhile, Pettis, Hawkins, and Woodson must continue to demonstrate consistency, ball skills, and coverage intelligence, as the Patriots are unlikely to retain players who do not contribute reliably in all phases of defense. Coaching decisions will reflect a careful balance between potential, current performance, and the ability to execute under pressure, ensuring that every player on the field has earned their role through measurable contribution and readiness. Offensively, the evolution of the line and skill positions is intertwined with team success. Preseason matchups and scrimmages will serve as critical indicators, revealing which combinations produce cohesion, which players can handle elite competition, and which adjustments are necessary before regular season play begins. The coaching staff is meticulously tracking performance metrics, from pass protection efficiency to rushing yardage gained after contact, while also evaluating situational awareness, decision-making, and responsiveness to defensive schemes. Players like Campbell, Strange, and Brown must balance physical execution with mental acuity, as NFL defenses exploit hesitation or lack of preparation. Throughout these weeks of preparation, the Patriots' overarching philosophy emphasizes adaptability, accountability, and depth. Each player's opportunity is tied directly to performance, preparedness, and the ability to execute within a structured system. Duggar's journey, the emergence of Booty and Chisholm, and the development of the offensive line exemplify the high-stakes and competitive nature of professional football. With each practice, the roster begins to take shape, revealing both the potential starters and the critical backups who will ensure resilience over a long season. The coaching staff's evaluations are relentless, demanding both immediate performance and the capacity to improve, highlighting the fine line between securing a role on the team and facing the uncertainty of roster cuts. In essence, the Patriots training camp serves as a crucible where talent, adaptability, and strategic insight converge. Every drill, every rep, and every team interaction contributes to the final construction of a roster capable of competing at the highest level. Duggar's potential transition to linebacker, the development of young skill players, the refinement of offensive line cohesion, and the meticulous layering of defensive rotations all illustrate the deliberate and exhaustive evaluation process. The ultimate goal is a team that can withstand the demands of a full NFL season, combining depth, versatility, and performance excellence, with each player understanding that opportunity must be earned daily through execution, resilience, and adaptability. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to Patriots Hub and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our New England Patriots. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers have begun circulating throughout the NFL landscape regarding the New England Patriots, as reports suggest a simmering crisis within the roster may be taking shape, one that could potentially reshape the trajectory of the team's season. Allegedly, quarterback Drake May has expressed strong reservations about playing alongside wide receiver KENDRICK, BOURNE, sparking speculation among analysts and fans alike. Insiders claim that tensions between the two have been escalating behind closed doors, hinting at a clash of personalities that could spill onto the field if not carefully managed. While the Patriots organization has publicly maintained a stance of unity and professionalism, sources indicate that locker room dynamics are far from settled, and the rift could impact both practice sessions and game day cohesion. The possibility of May refusing to align with BOURNE has already ignited debates across sports networks, with some suggesting that such a scenario could force the coaching staff into making tough lineup decisions or even trade considerations to preserve team harmony. Although nothing has been officially confirmed, the mere rumor of internal discord is enough to fuel a media storm, particularly in a franchise known for its disciplined culture and historically tight-knit player relationships. Observers are now closely monitoring social media interactions, training footage, and pre-game interviews for any signs that this tension may manifest in a tangible way during the upcoming matches, creating a sense of suspense that has gripped Patriots fans and the wider NFL community. Sources close to the team allege that the friction between May and BOURNE could stem from differences in playing philosophy and on-field strategy, rather than purely personal issues, suggesting that each player may have conflicting approaches to how offensive plays should unfold. May, known for his analytical style and precise decision-making, reportedly prefers a system where timing and route discipline are strictly adhered to, whereas BOURNE is characterized by a more improvisational and instinct-driven style, often seeking to exploit gaps in the defense with creative movement. This stylistic discrepancy may have triggered frustration on both sides, with teammates and coaches allegedly caught in the crossfire as attempts to reconcile the two approaches have reportedly yielded limited success. Observers speculate that the Patriots coaching staff may be weighing several options to mitigate the discord, including adjusting the offensive scheme to accommodate both players or exploring personnel changes that could prevent further disruption. Meanwhile, chatter among insiders suggests that rival teams are quietly monitoring the situation, seeing potential opportunities to exploit the Patriots' internal uncertainties in upcoming matchups. Even within the media, pundits are increasingly framing the story as a cautionary tale about roster chemistry, highlighting how star talent alone may not guarantee performance if interpersonal dynamics deteriorate. The situation continues to be shrouded in uncertainty, leaving the broader football world wondering if this rumored standoff could escalate into something that materially affects the Patriots' season trajectory and playoff aspirations, adding an extra layer of intrigue to an already intense league atmosphere. The implications of this rumored conflict extend far beyond simple lineup considerations, with potential repercussions for team morale and locker room culture that have prompted widespread discussion among NFL analysts and former players. Some insiders propose that the alleged tension could create a domino effect, influencing the behavior and attitudes of other players who may feel compelled to take sides or adjust their own approach to practices and in-game responsibilities. This environment, if it persists, could challenge the leadership of the coaching staff, particularly the head coach and offensive coordinator, who would need to navigate these delicate dynamics while maintaining competitive performance standards. Meanwhile, fans and commentators have been dissecting every subtle gesture or interaction captured in training sessions and interviews, seeking signs of confirmation that MAYE and BOURNE's alleged disagreement is more than mere speculation. The rumor has already spurred a wave of social media debate, with some supporters defending the star quarterback and criticizing BOURNE, while others argue that team cohesion and long-term success require compromises from all involved. The media frenzy has only heightened the perception of a looming crisis, even as Patriots management continues to insist publicly that the roster is unified and focused on executing the game plan. In the midst of this uncertainty, the broader NFL community remains captivated by the story, recognizing that if the situation escalates, it could serve as a dramatic case study in how internal conflicts influence professional sports teams at the highest level, creating ripple effects that extend to fan engagement, media narratives, and competitive strategy. Adding fuel to the speculative fire, some reports indicate that this rumored friction may not only impact regular season performance, but could also have long-term contractual and career implications for both MAYE and BOURNE, depending on how the Patriots choose to respond. Analysts have suggested that if the alleged refusal to play alongside BOURNE becomes concrete, the organization might explore trade scenarios or restructuring of roles, which could lead to a reshuffling of offensive responsibilities and affect other roster decisions. Discussions around contract clauses, playing time guarantees, and leadership hierarchies are being speculated upon in sports media circles, even as insiders emphasize that such moves would only be contemplated if tensions remain unresolved. The potential ripple effect extends to team branding, sponsorships, and fan perception, as stories of internal discord often attract heightened scrutiny from national media outlets, which in turn can influence ticket sales, viewership, and overall team marketability. Meanwhile, rival teams may be quietly analyzing game, film, and strategic data to identify any vulnerabilities that could be exploited should the Patriots' offensive cohesion falter under the weight of interpersonal conflict. While the Patriot organization maintains a front of calm professionalism, the mere circulation of these rumors suggests that underlying issues, if real, could catalyze a series of strategic decisions that fundamentally alter team operations. Observers note that even subtle indications of tension can create psychological pressures that affect performance, underscoring the delicate balance required to manage star talent within a highly competitive league, and adding to the sense of anticipation and uncertainty surrounding the team's next moves. Ultimately, the speculation around Drake, MAYE, and KENDRICK BOURNE has transformed into one of the NFL's most intriguing storylines, capturing the attention of fans, analysts, and commentators who are eager to see how the alleged discord unfolds. While some maintain a cautious stance, emphasizing that rumors often exaggerate minor disagreements, others argue that the Patriots' historically disciplined approach makes any perceived internal conflict particularly noteworthy, as deviations from team unity are rare and often magnified in media. Whether the story will resolve quietly behind closed doors or erupt into a high-profile controversy remains uncertain, but the collective fascination underscores the intensity of professional sports, where off-field dynamics can be as compelling as on-field competition. As the NFL season progresses, the eyes of the football world remain sharply focused on New England, awaiting confirmation, denial, or escalation of the rumored rift, knowing that the resolution could have profound implications for the Patriots' success and legacy. Amid the swirling rumors, some insiders speculate that the alleged discord may ultimately catalyze unexpected shifts in team strategy, potentially leading to innovative play calling or altered offensive schemes designed to accommodate both MAYE and BOURNE strengths while minimizing conflict. Coaches are rumored to be exploring creative solutions, including situational rotations, modified route combinations, or even psychological support mechanisms to manage the personalities and maintain cohesion on and off the field. The broader NFL community is closely watching, recognizing that the situation represents a rare glimpse into the complexities of roster management at the highest level, where talent, temperament, and tactical considerations intersect in ways that can redefine team performance. Meanwhile, media outlets continue to dissect every nuance of practice footage, pre-game warm-ups, and sideline interactions, fueling endless speculation and providing a constant stream of fodder for discussion panels and online forums. The unfolding narrative is as much about perception as it is about reality, with analysts debating whether the rumored standoff is a temporary friction point or a deeper sign of instability that could influence the Patriots' playoff ambitions and draft strategies. Fans, journalists, and rival teams alike are left to wonder whether the organization will take decisive action, quietly resolve tensions behind the scenes, or allow the rumor to evolve into a defining subplot of the season. In any case, the buzz surrounding Drake, MAYE, and KENDRICK BOURNE has already cemented itself as one of the NFL's most talked-about potential storylines, promising drama, uncertainty, and the possibility of strategic recalibrations that can echo well beyond the confines of Gillette Stadium, reshaping expectations for a franchise that has long been synonymous with disciplined, methodical excellence. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our New England Patriots, be sure to subscribe to Patriots Hub and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.